Hey guys, and welcome back to another video on the Road Builder YouTube channel. Today we're gonna try something a little bit different, and as I've been making more and more games, or more and more strides to try to make games, I've noticed there's a lot more to it than I originally thought, and a lot more money that goes out when you're trying to create a game and you can't do everything by yourself. So I decided I'm gonna try to learn how to make GFX, okay? This is for game icons and game thumbnails. That's the goal. And I used to make GFX in Cinema 4D, but I want to learn everything in Blender. So yeah, this is 100% new to me. I know I got to get my avatar, which I got in Studio right here, export it as an OBJ file, and then import it into Blender. But first, I have to go online and find a rig. So I guess I'll do that first. All right, guys, so I found a rig, or at least I think I did. It's called Paint Rig V3, okay? Now, I just downloaded this file from somebody's YouTube description. I don't know exactly what all this is, okay? So, I've never used the nodes at all, and I don't know how those work. But I have the rig here. So let me go ahead and export my dude and then get it onto this. All right, guys, so I got my guy in, and I put the texture on the rig, and I did something wrong because it came in all as one object. So I'm gonna figure out what I did wrong real quick, and then I'll be right back, hopefully making an awesome, icon for the game or something. Okay, so I just Control Z everything that I did. I'm gonna go ahead and import my dude, import OBJ. I have to go to geometry and split by group. I think that's what I had to do. There we go. Now I have to click on the head of the rig and go to its texture, go to image texture right here, and then pick my Road Builder texture, probably the other one. Right there, nice. And I have to delete all my body parts. Just like that, I would presume. So if I were to like move this, how does this work? Guys, I got this. You gotta believe in me, okay? I don't know which head to grab. I think I'm gonna grab this one. And now I'm gonna need to put the little helmet here. Okay, so helmet will need to go into head attachments. That makes sense. All right, guys, so I've made some progress. Check it out. I can now, I don't know how to select each part of this, but now everything's moving together. So we're at a good point, and I also changed the texture of these from the original one that came on it to the same texture as the rig. So now it has like a cool little gloss on it, which is pretty cool. I'm guessing that's what all the node stuff was, but I didn't do any of this stuff. So it was just in the file when I downloaded it. I could probably put the same link that they used in the description of this video. I don't know if that's like I'll just link their video, and then you can go to their description, because I don't want to like take credit for their work. I don't know if this is like stock or anything like that, or if they made it specific. So I'm gonna link to their video, and then you guys can get the rig from their description. I want to make sure I'm not like stealing anything or anything like that. So now I just have to figure out how to like click on different parts of this. I don't know if I have to click over here or like how all that works. Oh gosh, what did I just do? All right, Control Z always works. I'm gonna figure out how to move the rig around and what else I need to do just by watching the rest of their video. And I'll be back when I learn how to move it around. But so far, so good. We got him in Blender. We got all the accessories on, and it's all in the rig. All right, guys, so thank you to my admin. I now know, or he's not an admin, pause, a moderator in the Discord. Pause again, a trial moderator in the Discord. Thanks to that man. He said go to pose mode. And then look, I can like grab stuff, and if I go to like rotate, look, yeah, I bent his arm. So I'm gonna pose this guy, and then we'll go into like Photoshop. I kind of need swords. All right, so I'm gonna pose him, then bring in some swords, and then I don't know, then we'll render it out. I don't know render settings or where that is, or I don't know, guys. This is probably gonna be absolutely horrendous, but it's a start in the right direction to learning GFX, aka saving money. All right, guys, so I've learned a few things. It took me a little while to figure out how to get into the camera view, like into the actual camera here, because I don't have a number pad on my keyboard. So I had to go into edit and then preferences and then switch. I'll just show you because I don't really remember what it was called, but I went to input and then put emulate numpad, and that basically makes the top row of numbers into my number pad. So now I can switch my view, etc. with the top numbers instead of using a number pad, and then it's just 0 to go into the camera view. I have also switched right here resolution to 1000 by 1000. Since I'm making a game icon, it doesn't need to be 1920 by 1080, which is what most people use for thumbnails. And now I have to position all these swords kind of behind it. So yes, the game I'm making has to do with swords, which you guys definitely know if you've been keeping up with my videos as of recently, because we have been doing a lot. I mean, a lot with swords. So definitely let me know if you guys are excited, okay? We're gonna make this guy a lot bigger because it's like one of the cooler swords, I feel like. And then this is one of my favorite swords as well. So we'll make that one pretty big. Maybe something like this. Sure, why not? We'll grab this guy, make it smaller. It's still really cool, but I need like some variations. So it seems like some are further back and some are closer. In fact, these should probably be switched because the biggest ones are gonna be appearing like they're in the front, and then these ones are gonna be appearing like they're in the back. And I could just, you know, move them back like this, and then they would organically get smaller, like so. But I don't feel like I have as much control, so I'm trying to kind of figure things out. This guy's sick as well. Put that like that. This one we'll just put like, make it real small. Nice. And I have a sword on my back as well, so I'm trying not to like overpower that in any means. And then we have this sword as well, which I might not be able to use. Let me see. I could put it like back here, I suppose. Something like that. So I don't overly know a lot about rendering. I am going to change all of these to texture though. Oh, I can't do that. I thought it was going to work. It didn't. So I'm going to keep those normal. All right, and it's F12 to texture, so let's just, to render, so let's just see what happens. Here it goes, guys. My first ever render in Blender. My first ever Blender render. I can already tell it's a bit dark, so I need to add in some lights of some sorts. And it also doesn't appear that it's a PNG, so I need to figure that one out as well. But I'll let it finish up to see how it looks. All right, another thing, it looks like all of the swords, except the one on my back, is coming through slightly transparent. Now, I don't know why that's happening. Once again, this is like my first time with Blender GFX. It looks like I got some more research to do. All right, guys, the trial mod has come in clutch once again. So I basically have to click on this, and then I scroll until I find this mesh MTL, and then I just have to delete this guy. That's it. And I've done it for these two. Got to do it for this guy. I don't know if I am supposed to, like, does it change if I click on this? I don't know. But I'm just going to try to delete them without clicking on that. Like, just click on the things and delete them. It might be okay. And then there's this real little guy back here. So I'm going to delete that guy. And now, if I bring this and I press 0, and I'm going to try to render it again. I haven't added any lights or anything like that. But let's see what happens. Here it goes, fellas. And it is rendering as a PNG. I found that as well. I forgot where I found it, but it was somewhere in this region, I think. Yeah, right here. File format, PNG. Look, okay, they're not transparent anymore. So we are making the progress. Now I need to figure out how to properly light this thing. And I've never used the lights in Blender. So let's do Shift A, light, and I'm going to go in area light. Okay. Is this the side the light's on, I'm guessing? Like this beam here is the actual light. So I'm just going to rotate that. Oh yeah, that would definitely make sense as if that's the light. So I'm going to rotate that and do something like this. And this is how I always lit stuff in Cinema 4D. I don't really know how to edit the lights in here yet. So I don't know how strong or weak they are. But, oh, it's probably here. Okay, area light, color, spot. Okay, so it's area light. The power's here. The size is here. Okay, now I'm going to do Shift D to duplicate. And just move it to this side, rotate it this way. So we're having 2-point light in the front. And I'm going to do Shift D, bring one back, rotate it all the way around like so. And then move it up a bit. And then kind of angle that down. Hopefully, hopefully I got this kind of okay, all right? I've never done this. So this could look real bad or real awesome. Let's see. Okay, so I think it looks brighter. I'm not sure. All right, guys, so this is pretty much done rendering. Can't say I'm a fan yet. So I like this little glow we have on the side of the sword here. I wanted more of that. We have a little bit here, but I'm gonna figure out better lighting, and I'll be back, and then we should be done with the render. All right, guys, it just changed up a bunch of lighting, and by that, I mean I increased the power on the lights. I don't know how to add an HDRI, which is apparently the best way to go about it, but I can't. There's a box over here, this box, and there's supposed to be a little yellow mark right here, apparently. Or at least that's what this guy's telling me that's been helping me so far. And yeah, I don't see that. So I just boosted up the lighting, And I think it's looking way better than it did. I put the two front lights to 100 power each, and then I put the backlight to 300 power because I want kind of a lot more light behind him showing through. All right, guys, I think he was just on an older version of Blender. I just clicked on this button on this side instead of whatever was on this side, and I added in this HDRI called Chinese Garden, and it's from this website right here, polyheaven.com/HDRIS. There we go. And they're all free, I think. So yeah, I downloaded one called Chinese Garden just because it looked all nice and it was what he recommended. All right, guys, we're in here, okay? We're gonna rotate everything. The sun is right over there, so I'm gonna kind of just rotate these guys like so. All right, then the sun will hopefully be shining on his face. Look at that. It's beautiful. It's absolutely fantastical and magical. So let's see what happens when we render now. Everything still seems to be in frame. All right, it's time, guys. Oh my gosh, this is blinding. It's so bright. It's just so bright. I also need to figure out how to get the HDRI not in the background. All right, guys, we should be all good. I just did a test render before I turned it off, but I just went to this little camera tab and then film and then transparent. Once again, thanks to my trial mod, aka testname.exe or Darkness Dust, woo, or Sem. What, Sem? Maybe? I don't know. Might have gotten it wrong. But now these lights are a bit too bright, so I'm actually going to take these down, and I think I want to go to like, we're going to go back to 10, where they were originally. And I think I'm going to keep the back one at 300, like quite massive actually. So let's try to test render this again. I guess not really a test render, just, you know, render it out. Already it's not as blinding in the front, so that's great news to me. My computer might slightly be dying on the inside though, I'm not sure. And the HDRI is gone. All right, guys, so this is where we're at, and I kind of like the fact that his eyes are shaded, but like I kind of also don't. So I think I'm going to either rotate the whole thing a little bit so it's more towards the sun, and the sun would be like more on the face instead of on the helmet, or I'll just put an area light in front. So we're gonna figure that one out. I feel like I just have to grab all of this. I probably should grab the camera as well and just rotate it kind of up. We're gonna try that. All right, guys, after a couple more renders, I have came to the conclusion that these lights are absolutely pointless, okay? I don't think I need those if I'm using an HDRI. I do want to keep the back one, though, for maybe a little chance of getting a bit of backlight on this guy, all right? So let's move this up, make it bigger, because, hey, why not? And then hope for the best. All right, guys, so after, like, 30 minutes, we now have a bit of a render, and I think it looks pretty cool. And I also think it's going to be all right. I'm going to take this into Photoshop now and try to finish up making some sort of an icon. I have a lot to learn. I definitely have a lot to learn, but I'm interested. And my goal is to learn every little bit of Blender. So sculpting, GFX, all the goods. I got a long way to go. All right, guys, it is official. I have it in Photoshop. Now I'm going to go take a screenshot of the map or a part of the map and put that in as the background. Now, I'm not going to show you guys the map just yet because I don't want to give away too much of the game, but I'm gonna go grab a screenshot, maybe a couple to pick from just in different zones, and we'll see which one looks the best. All right, guys, background is obtained. Now what we're gonna do is go ahead and add a blur. So filter, this is view, I need filter, blur, and Gaussian, I don't know how to say it, but we don't need that much. I just want it so you can barely see what's going on, but you can kind of still see, you know? And then I also added a sunbeam effect or sun rays effect. So I think this will work for me. I'll get rid of this. Well, this is kind of covering something up. Like I painted this on right here to cover something up so you guys can't see it. Yeah, let me get the game logo on next. All right, guys, there it is. The official game name reveal. And this logo does not match the GFX at all. This is more of a fantasy vibe, I suppose, and this is more of a cartoon low poly vibe. So maybe I'll have to buy a new logo, but you know, we'll have to wait and see. I think we can darken up the background or add like a, I forgot what it's called, a vignette. I think it's called a vignette. So let's try to vignette. I don't know what it's called, guys. I'm really trying out here. But we're gonna go to our paintbrush tool, make it pretty massive, and turn the hardness down to like 0. Wow, something like this. And I'm just putting like 3 little dots on. I'll make that look more professional someday. And then, oh geez, I forgot. I should have put that on a different layer. Control Z everything. Now let's put those back. So we got one here, one here, one here. I'm gonna just kind of like color the corner like that. It's gonna get real dark because I can change that with what I'm gonna do next. There we go. And I'm just gonna turn the opacity down a little bit and even add a little blur on those. Something like that. Now guys, this is my official first Blender GFX. I do think the brightness needs to come down on the render a little bit. That's a bit tough. I don't know, something like that. This is my first Blender GFX. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That is gonna wrap it up for today's video. If you did enjoy and you want to see more content like this, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Later.